Right, so here I'm generating the John E Window Manager, which will manage your windows for you without needing to have those so-called Windows decorations down the edge, and will allow you to run EvE full screen with its glorious full screen. So, although you don't have those window controls out there, you can still do basic sort of Windows controls like going forward, cycling forward, and also, for example, cycling back. Um, if you don't want to cycle all the time, you can also do a tile. So you can see all of your open EvE clients at the same time, up to 4. And then go back to just viewing glorious full screen by just cycling through the clients again. Now, it's usually quite important to have the window control so you can close your login screen after claiming it. But here we have this nice big close button so that we don't have to have the ugly Windows controls outside the edge of your EvE window. So now let's have a look at some Amiga clients. Why is say that when the client is running? Alright, with EvE being EvE. Alright, let's launch some Amiga clients. I don't know why that window had pop up. Shut off some. Alright. Alright, so now we have 2 alpha clients open, and we can tile these 2. So now it's only 2, so the tiling, it's only 2 larger tiles rather than 4 small ones.
Connecting.
So this is somewhat important because in this case I'm undocked and I should actually go straight into a battle as soon as I warp in. So I don't want to not be able to see any of my screens. Alright. Just turn on my spinnies. Alright, so I'm sitting quite alright now, so now definitely something I can fight. Okay. Oh, so here's an example, the control button. This should allow me to lock on things without having to hold down the control button on the keyboard. So F is will pay respects to the ships which the drones are about to engage.
To give the
And
command to a
destroyed.
drone requires
Alright.
you to have an active target.
Alright, so let's have a look if... Alright, so now all the spinnies are spinning, so I can kind of just sit here and let this happen. So I could do something, for example, read UniWiki. Maybe UniWiki have got something important to read. The problem is that there are annoying pop-ups and old antivirus
module
I
has
haven't
run
bothered
out
to
of charges.
uninstall yet. But also, I could end up forgetting, like if I maximise this something, I forgetting that I'm in battle and forget to check that my ships are alright. So the new feature I've implemented recently is the yellow alert. So for example, say that I'm particularly worried about this character, I could add a yellow alert window. And for the sake of argument, let's reduce this just to make it obvious what's going on. So as you can see, that one, the one I put on yellow alert, will pop up a while after I put something over it. So I can still like go and read UniWiki for a while, but it will continually remind me that I should really be paying attention to these ships floating in space. Now, because having this popping up can be annoying, even if you have a more reasonable delay, like 60 seconds, there's the yield button. So you can just say, alright, I'm going to make all these yellow windows disappear now and go back to my background task, my less urgent one, but the one that I I was working on when I was interrupted by the yellow alert. And so you can also have multiple windows on yellow alert. So for example, as you can see now, as I'm switching between windows, it's the add current window check mark changes. So I can put both on yellow alert, and then if I, for example, go and start plotting a route to my next adventure, then if I go idle for a while, both windows will come to the foreground. D is for Discord, F1, F2 these are just on-screen keyboards. So if you really want to press F1, F2, or F4, you can do that. This is to show where you've wasted time. So it gives a list of all the characters you've been spending time on, and and a summary of what how you've been wasting time playing EVE when you should have been working, and how you've been wasting time working when you could have been playing EVE, and so on. This button here basically minimises all windows. Although in this case, of course, because the yield is so low, the yellow alert delay is so low, it just pops straight back up.
A module has run out of charges.
So that's basically it. Again, since that our ships were fairly stable, I could start planning maybe my next adventure. I might need to plan some new ships. For example, my next adventure I might need to travel there. I might need to have a travel fit for, say, an executioner. So I can click that, and then after clicking that, I can import from clipboard. And so there's a travel fit for executioner. So this one is enters warp within 2 seconds, and also warps reasonably fast at like where's navigation? Yeah, 7.7. So decent warp speed. So for such a cheap ship, it's reasonable for traveling around high and low sec. There are, of course, various other ones that you can do, like, for example, if you're going to do Sisters of Eve, you can have a look at this caracal, import from clipboard. So this is kind of overkill for Eve. It'll be fine. And obviously, it has auto-targeting missiles, so you can just park it somewhere in the Sisters of Eve and leave it to do its thing. Now, let's go on to the next mission. Oh, yeah. Got to turn those things off. Should really remember to turn them off before I start trying to walk. Maybe even a little bit before I finish the rooms, so that I can walk straight out without having to wait for them to turn off. Oh, and here, for example, is an interesting ship. Not so much of a travel fit, but it is fast. So, simulate. So this one goes at almost 9,000 meters a second. So it's quite good for just burning out to put a bookmark, a few thousand kilometers out from somewhere. Alright, so we are currently able to warp.
Warp drive active. Warp drive active.
Yeah, so that's pretty much the window manager. So now I'm just going to finish off the mission, and feel free to keep watching.
A module has run out of charges. A module has run out of charges. To give the command to a drone requires you to have an active target. A module has run out of charges. A module has run out of charges.